What's up, Cinemaniacs? I'm back, and who is I? I is Shane. You can find me over on all the various interwebs. Facebook.com/TheCinebros, Twitter. You can also find me at The Cinebros. Today we are here and we're trying something different. And what we is me and Chad Davis. Chad is a guy who is also a huge movie lover, but he usually veers more towards the independent side of movies. And so I have taken him on as kind of the leader of our independent side of our Cinebros page. So I might as well introduce him right now. How you doing, Chad?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Excellent.
Glad to be up this early.
All right, so we're going to go into this, and we're trying a new little show today, and this is something we kind of planned kind of recently. It was kind of off the cuff here, and we decided just to make up a couple of categories, see how it goes. If we do this down the road, it won't always be Chad, but hopefully we'll get him on more
than once.
Yeah, more often. We're just gonna do something a little fun here. We're gonna talk about some movies that we like to watch over and over and over again. So what do you want to watch over and over and over again?
First movie. This movie is near and dear to my heart because it is my favorite movie of all time. I've literally seen it probably 50 times. Remember the Titans. It is. I know people laugh at me when I say it's the best movie ever.
You should get some laughter when you're talking.
No,
about these movies,
I know.
They're guilty movies. They're good. They're movies that you love for some reason.
But I have stories behind this movie. Me and my buddy Chris Hall, I literally have seen this movie 20 times together. I mean, we
in the theater, or do you guys just get
at
together?
home? Dude, at one point I owned the VHS. I owned 2 copies of the DVD, one unwrapped, in case I ever met Denzel Washington and I wanted him to sign that thing. It was never opened, and I still have it at home unopened, just in case I ever meet this guy, who is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's not my favorite, but he is top 2 or 3.
That's awesome.
I mean, this movie, we get to the point where nobody would watch it with me and my buddy. Like, nobody would watch it with me and Chris, because we were getting to the point where we were quoting the whole movie before it happened, and we were just going back and forth, and we knew our parts. Like, we knew everything. Wait.
Who was Denzel?
What was his name?
No, who was Denzel? Was it you or Chris?
We took turns. I mean, it just, we knew in certain parts of the movie, we knew who was gonna say what. And it got to the point, like I said, where nobody would watch this movie. People would turn the movie off on us.
Did you reenact?
We would do. We would never shot an actual movie between the two of us. Everybody's seen the movie, I think. I mean, a lot of people have seen this movie, so you guys know what it's about. I'm not gonna get into that kind of stuff, but I mean, the soundtrack was amazing in this movie. I mean, there was a lot of good tracks on this movie. Everything from CCR to the Hollies to Marvin Gaye, Cat Stevens, and one of my favorite songs of all time, James Taylor, Fire and Ice. I mean, that I still watch that part in that movie, and I'm always like, don't get in the car, man. Don't get in the car. You're going to die. I mean, he didn't die right off, but it led to his eventual death. I mean...
So you love the movie?
I love this movie, man. Like, you don't understand how excited I get about this movie, dude. Like, I wish there could be a Remember the Titans 2. I mean,
wait. So you say you wish. Now, do you think that them coming out with a number 2, if they did it, do you think it could have ruined it for you?
No.
No?
Like,
there's nothing they could do?
Dude, like, this movie, man, it gets me hyped up about about movies themselves. It's just amazing, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right, well, to go off your whole, quoting movies before, like saying the lines before it happens. One of the movies that I like to watch over and over again. It's not my top one. It is it's my favorite R comedy all time. Yeah. That's Wedding Crashers.
I'll do phenomenal.
I
loved it.
The opening scene to that movie, every time, if I see that opening scene, I can't not watch it, and then I get sucked in, and I'm gone for 2.5 hours basically, because it's a long movie, but it is so funny. The chemistry between Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn is just amazing.
It's a long movie, but it doesn't last long.
And I love Rachel McAdams in that movie.
Oh
my God. That movie, me and my buddy, we went to see this movie in theaters. I think it was 10 times in the theater. And the last time that we went, we had been at a local bar that was there, and we were like, let's go watch Wedding Crashers again. We were just right down the road from the theater, walking distance. We had a couple of pops before we decided to go to the theater. So we were feeling a little loose, a little giddy.
Yeah.
It had been out in the theater for about a month now, so we weren't expecting the theater to be packed. Still packed. I mean, there was like several open seats, but not like, it was full. The theater was full. It was Niantic, the Niantic Cinemas.
Yep.
Walk down there, go in, get our tickets, go in. We show up about probably halfway through that opening scene. My buddy starts saying the lines before. I start laughing like crazy because he starts doing it, and then I start doing it back and forth. And because we had seen it so many times in the theater, we knew exactly what was coming, but it was still hilarious, and it was making us laugh even more. And people are turning around. We were those douches. We were those douches in the theater doing the lines out loud. And we were like, I got to a point, we were about 15 minutes into the movie. I go, we got to leave. Yeah. I was like, we're going to get thrown out, and I don't want to ruin this movie for them. Because this movie is so funny. We got to leave. We got to leave so that we don't do it, because we're not going to stop. Yeah. Like, we just can't, and we're going to laugh way harder and way longer than anybody else. So we just need to leave. So we ended up leaving that movie, but that is one of those movies that I can watch over and over and over again. I love it.
Dude, this is one of my favorite comedies too. I mean, comedy wise in that genre, I mean, you can't get too much more quotable than that movie. I mean,
my God.
And Vince Vaughn
that movie
is one of my favorite actors also.
Is he?
Yeah, he is definitely in my top 5. I mean, Owen Wilson's great in it too. I mean, and like you said, Rachel McAdams. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, she yeah.
She ain't hard to look at on the screen.
What's another one? What else do you have?
My second one's kind of a guilty pleasure. I held this in for a long time, like not letting people know that I watch this movie a lot of times. I mean,
wait, I think I know. I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
This movie.
I think I was trying to talk my wife into watch this recently. I think so. Go ahead.
If you can guess, it's pretty crazy. This movie stars Lindsay Lohan.
Yep, it is. It's with Rachel McAdams. It's Mean Girls. Yes.
And it's her best role she's ever played in any movie.
Pre train wreck.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, but even after the train wreck, I mean, she doesn't.
No, I mean, this is Lindsay Lohan pre train wreck.
She was such a pretty girl back then. I mean, she was really good in this movie. Tina Fey is phenomenal. So you knew the movie. I didn't. It took me a couple years to watch this movie. I actually stumbled upon it on TV. I have this like little, like I said, guilty pleasure of watching like little teeny bop movies sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that.
This movie, it was pretty much just about teenage girls and their cliques at high school and how they interact with each other and how it affects each other and the outcome of how they respond and going back and forth between cliques and revenge and stuff like that. And it doesn't have a lot of character. It doesn't have a lot of like to learn kind of things in it.
It's just a
fun movie. And legit, probably had one of the funniest laugh out loud, like genuine laughs in it. And it was when the gay friend, I think his name was Damien. They were watching a horror movie on Halloween, and Lindsay Lohan had walked in a white gown that she just got back from the dance. Scared the bejesus out of this kid. He threw his popcorn up in the air and screamed like a little girl. And I legit laughed so hard. Like, I felt like I shouldn't be laughing that hard at a movie like this, but it was a good movie, man. Like, and like for the longest time, like I kept it to myself. I watched it in the privacy of my own home. Like, I didn't post on Facebook, hey, watching Mean Girls, you know, let's get this party started kind of thing. But as I moved on into my life and I started bringing it up, I actually found out that a lot of guys love this movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it's just this genre of movies. I think it's the best in the genre kind of movies. I mean, Clueless is right there with it. Clueless was a good movie. I mean,
Paul Rudd was in that.
Yeah, right? I mean, there was a lot of good actor and actresses in that movie, but this one just hit home for me, man. Like, it was a home run for me. It's definitely not in my top like if I had to pick a top 5 movies I can watch over and over again, it's not going to be in my top 5. But I have seen it probably 10 times. And that's a lot of times to see Mean Girls as a 33-year-old male. I mean, and it's not like it came out a long time ago when I was young. It came out in 2004. I was out of high school. I was 22.
But everybody has these, you know.
Everybody has these memories. This is my guilty pleasure.
But everybody has these memories of high school. You know, they have.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with my high school experience.
No, it doesn't. It's just you know.
We didn't have the plastics at my high school. Ledger did not consist of plastics and stuff like that. We had our cliques.
Yeah, but you can relate a little bit. I mean, it's not exact.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a mirror image, but.
Yeah. All right. What's your second movie? I'm done talking about Mean Girls.
So my second movie, I mean, there's so many. I mean, we have Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yep.
I love that movie with Chris Farley. So funny. Chris Farley in anything, really. I mean, he's just
Tommy Boy.
Awesome, off the charts. I know. He has like Tommy Boy is probably his most famous.
Yep.
But for some reason, Beverly Hills Ninja, that movie cracks me up. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a ninja.
Yeah.
I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean,
is Chris Rock in that one too? Was it
yes,
Chris Rock?
Yes, yeah. He was one of the hotel. He was like the hotel.
I just remember the
busboy.
One scene from that movie. I remember is him chasing the chickens around.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was how he's trying to train him to be a ninja. Yeah. So I mean, there's like movies like that. There's movies like Shanghai Noon, which is Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
I've never seen that one.
Love those. I love those movies. That, even the Shanghai Nights. I love that. If Shanghai Noon's on, I will stop and watch it for a little while if it's on TV or anything like that. You know, I have classic movies like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I love that movie so much. I have the poster over there. I have another. I have I fart in your general direction.
I saw that.
I have another one with the Black Knight. Love that movie. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. The movie that I always stop and watch if I see it on TV, I can't turn it off, is Bad Boys 2.
All right.
That movie comes on, and there is one scene in it makes me crack up. It's when Martin Lawrence's character is on drugs and they go to their boss's house. And, you know, Will Smith is sitting there talking all straight-laced to the boss. And Martin Lawrence goes upstairs and he's like all rubbing himself and like taking his clothes off and, you know, woosah and all that kind of like, and he comes and like, oh my God, I lose it. Like tears are rolling down my eyes. Like, so well done. Such a funny part of the movie. Oh my God, it's so hilarious. So funny.
Yeah.
He's messing around with a fish. Oh my God. Like, just so funny. The whole thing is just great. I love that movie. Can't turn it off. There's The Rock with Michael Bay as well. They have this car chase scene that I can never not watch. It's with a Hummer and a Ferrari. It's a car chase that you never get to see. Like, so incredible. All right. So now we're going to move on to what movie are you going to see this weekend? What are you going to see, and why? Are you going to see something new? Are you going to see something old? You're going to decide just forget the theater all in general?
We can't do that. We can't forget the theater.
But I mean, sometimes
there's always something to watch out there.
Yes, there is.
There's always something to watch.
There's always something to watch, but sometimes you just want to rent a movie.
I rent movies. Redbox is the greatest invention ever. I mean, hands down. The only thing that sucks about the Redbox is returning movies on time.
Yeah.
And it adds up after a while. I actually own 3 movies from Redbox.
I accidentally own a couple of movies.
I own 3 movies from Redbox.